Our next work of art is also our last work of art for the Etruscans. I know, it's not fair. I'm gonna look at 4 artworks from this beautiful Etruscan culture. It's because we just don't have enough time. Now, this piece here, he's titled Eule Metele, and then in parentheses, I've given him the name Arignatore. His name is Eule Metele, and that is an Etruscan name. He is an Etruscan. However, Arignatore, orator, public speaker, that's what that means. That is a profession typical of a Roman. The Romans, Miss Cortez, you said we weren't talking about them. This is where we start talking about them. This piece here is a wonderful transitional piece from the decline of the Etruscans and their assimilation into the Roman world. In fact, you see that in the period style? So I put here late Etruscan, question mark, or Roman Republic, question mark, because we can identify this as both. He is an Etruscan, but he is working in a Roman occupation. Orator, arignatore, public speaker. We'll get into that in a little bit. Here he is, and he's wearing this toga, and he's in this gesture here. And we know his name is Eule Metele, and that he is a Etruscan because on the bottom trim of his toga, check it out, it's an inscription, and it's written in Etruscan, and it translates to Eule Metele, son of Vel and Vessi, Tienin set up this statue as a votive offering to Sans by deliberation of the people. Oh. If you're curious, you read Etruscan from right to left, and they used the Greek alphabet, but they wrote it backwards. Isn't that fantastic? So what we know is that he is an Etruscan. Eule Metele is an Etruscan name, and as tradition, he is identified as the son of both identifying his father, Vel, and his mother, Vessi. So we see an Etruscan man, and he has obviously been such an important part of his community that they set up this statue as a votive offering to one of the Etruscan gods, Sans. Now, in this image, he is wearing, or I should say in the statue, he is wearing a toga. Now, I don't expect you to know history of fashion, but this type of toga is a Roman toga. Roman togas are shorter than Greek togas. Greek togas for magistrates or public officials would be really long. They go all the way down to their feet. Roman magistrates or public officials, their togas typically went to the shin. So he's dressed like a Roman. Those sandals that he's wearing, those are Roman sandals. His haircut, that's a Roman haircut. So we have an Etruscan, and he looks like a Roman. He's in this gesture here because he was some kind of a public speaker, arignatore, orator, public speaker. And he is in the act of speaking. So you can see how he's risen, his hand rises up as if to address the people. He stands in contrapposto, yes. So we're supposed to immediately understand that he is of balanced mind and body. So he was such a great and magnificent figure that he would have been celebrated as a votive offering and a gift. And here we're seeing those qualities of this Etruscan man and his duty or his job, his occupation as a Roman orator. And he was a public figure of balanced body and balanced mind. Isn't that lovely? Here he is again. So as I said, he is a really great figure to show as our last work of art for the Etruscans because it helps us understand the assimilation of the Etruscan people and culture into the Roman world. Now we'll get more specifically into Rome in our next video, but I want you to look at this map here of the rise of Rome. So the city of Rome becomes the capital. Where is it? Where are you, Rome? There you are. The city of Rome becomes the capital of the Romans, and they will beat back the Etruscans and eventually absorb the territory that the Etruscans dominated and assimilate the people into their own. Here in Aiule Metele, we can see this assimilation not only of territory, but of culture, of a mental assimilation into the Roman world. He's just beautiful. So we see, if we connect it back to what we saw in the ancient Greek world, we see as the Etruscans progress through time, their artworks become less stylized, much more naturalistic. We see them also using contrapposto, the beautiful drapery, the figure hidden and revealed underneath the fabric, very much like we saw in the Hellenistic world. And that is again because these people are occupying the same time and they are interconnected and they will see and share ideas. Isn't he just wonderful?